Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday Show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, hello, good afternoon and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers 1, Celtic 3 at Parkhead. John, myself, Hawkshire, back in the show as well, Robert. Afternoon, Robert.
Afternoon, mate. I'll not say good afternoon because it's not.
No, it's no, mate. Listen, a lot of questions, a lot of answers. We can talk about refereeing, we can talk about goals, offside, we can talk about all the things that happened in the game, the professional fouls. We can talk about all that. It will not take away the pressure of growing Danny Rowe, the team selection, the performance, the capitulation after half-time, second week in a row, mate. All that stuff, mate. We can talk about 3 games in the split. We've lost 8 goals. You've got to question the setup, the personnel, the tactics, mate. Putting myself under pressure. A lot of stuff, mate. The pressure will just growing. Danny, some of it fair, some of it unfair. Some of the players will walk into the sunset and he'll be left to pick up the pieces, and it's going to be interesting, mate. We'll go back to the game, Robert. We started well, causing them problems. We get the goal. Big Chimiti does well, and he had them worried. He gets the goal through Mikey Moore. And we'll go to them. We'll start then for the next few minutes. We started to play the ball about, and we're not a good passing team, mate. And there was a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, several occasions when we had passes to make and we failed to make them. I think there was one with Tav to Ant-Man or the other way about, and we don't make it, or we get it slightly wrong, and the chance to make a chance is gone. And I think that's the story of our forward player. And that was highlighted in the second half. Big Fernandez, who's a ball player, at the half, comes down the wing, the right passes to Romans, does too much on the ball, slides in, he's a foul, and that sums up our decision making, mate, you know. So we then concedes a goal. We use the ball cheaply out in the right. Tav, who I thought had a pivotal first half, poked up the park. They work it wide. The boy plays a decent pass in. Fernandez and Tucci switch off between them, mate. The ball gets back, played in. They've got 3 people standing offside and in front of the goalkeeper. And, well, not directly in front of the ball goes in, but I'm sure we'll look at it, and we'll talk about the one that was chopped off up at Dens Park. But, however, if we're still well in the game, we start the second half. Okay, Robert gets a foothold in the game. In the first, I think it's a second effort on goal, mate, to score a goal. It starts with Tucci again. I don't know what he was trying to do in the middle of the defence in the midfield, mate. We put ourselves under so much pressure. And then the ball goes out to down the right back area. Tav fails to deal with it. The ball beats him, puts it in the middle. Fernandez hasn't switched on again. I like him as to watch on the ball, but defending, mate, he's got to do a lot better. I think that's one of the reasons we've lost a lot of goals. Our centre halves are inexperienced. They then get the third goal, mate. Again, we play about, lose it, and the ball goes in. A tremendous finish for the boy. We'd have scored that goal. We'd have been going on about it forever. He gets the goal, 3-1. Then we starts playing. We starts winning, but never created a lot. Miofsky was unlucky with we see there on the bar late on. We had a lot of decent plays, but our decision making is poor, mate. That's my summary, a quick summary of the match, mate. If you want to chip in.
Aye, listen, I don't disagree with anything you've said there. I think from the first half, we started, as you say, we started okay. Chimiti was bullying Austin Trusty. I think he won every aerial kind of battle. He was putting himself about the park. He showed nice feet with the goal with Mikey Moore, and Mikey Moore was obviously in the right area at the right time to give us the lead. As you said, mate, from there it was just kind of bit part performances in terms of passing the ball about, not doing it well enough, and then that kind of goes into their goal. I think it's it's a nice kind of bit of play from them. You've got to say the kind of ball in behind from McCowan. But you're right, your defence kind of sleep, switch off, don't track runners. We said it last week at Motherwell and Hearts. Don't track runners, they'll cause you problems. That's what happened. And the goal itself, I don't understand how it can be given. The three guys in front of Butland. Whether Butland's going to save it or not is irrelevant when it comes down to the law and the rule book. But listen, you're not surprised that nothing's went to our favour with the officials. It's been that way all season. But defensively, it's a goal that can be avoided. It's been the same mistakes over and over again with fleeting goals, particularly of late, not tracking runners, not in the right positions defensively, and it goes against you. So that's what you're up against. You get at half time, again, second half, you probably expected similar to the same as the first half, if I'm honest, Ox. I didn't expect them to come out all guns blazing, if I'm being honest. I think both teams have had a season where they've not been really able to get a 90-minute performance between them. So it was a case of who wants it more in the second half, and ultimately Celtic showed they wanted it more. They knew what was at stake. They could see it, the hunger, the desire from their side to get the goal, to go 2-1 up, and their tails are up, mate. And you've got to say, the third goal, as much as you don't want to credit it, it's a tremendous finish. He's got no right to score it, but he does, and he leaves Butland with absolutely no chance. It's a great finish.
No,
so
I can't believe Butland.
Credit.
I can't believe Butland for that, mate. But I mean, look, Butland wasn't the reason we lost that game today, but he's not saving anything, is he? He's not. They didn't have many more shots than 3 in target, mate. Yeah, we didn't have much more ourselves. We huffed and puffed, but we just defensively. The stats are there. Well, let's throw in the Falkirk game, mate. That's 11 goals in 4 games, mate.
It's not good reading. It's not good reading, Ox, considering you look back at earlier in the season, particularly under Danny Rule, when we started to look a lot more solid. The defence was keeping clean sheets. Butland was making saves. At times, Butland wasn't even having to do anything in games because we were that structured and we were that tight at the back that we weren't even conceding a lot of shots. So whatever has changed since then has become a massive problem. And it's the wrong time to be leaking so many goals. And when you're leaking that many goals, mate, and you're not scoring.
11 goals in 4 games, mate. Yeah?
Aye, it's not good.
Anyway, we get the phone lines opened.
Yes, let's hear it. Get it off their chest.
Yes, yes. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, there was times when some of our players done all right. Fernandez and De Giga did some great stuff, you know. But they're inexperienced, mate. They've not got a lot of experience in the midfield. I mean, when I don't know if you watched it. Conor Varren's first touch showed a falling corners game. He got a simple pass played into him, miscontrolled it, and went to their play. Tucci done some good things, but some horrible things as well. Anyway, David's joined us afternoon. David.
All right, lads.
How we doing, mate? How we doing?
Hi, David.
All right, lads. That was a searing. Now, I wasn't expecting a lot of day going there. But once again, I can't believe, now I'm a James Tavernier fan, right? If we get into team selection, I would have Sterling in for Tavernier and Roms at left back. I just can't believe that Tavernier started there, right? Tavernier had one of the worst games I've ever seen against Celtic in the first half. It was hopeless. Every single ball he gave away. Ant-Man. Now, people say to me, my mates on the group chat, and they said, Ant-Man, he's made an ass of that, starting him. I said, right, fair dues. But see when you start him and he's a 45 minutes lad, you must get him off at half time.
The pressure's just going to go on. They 2 decisions. People, Scoville's and Ant-Man. The pressure's going to go on them, mate. Yeah.
The manager?
Well, people will question him, mate, and that's the trouble, mate, because when we before the show, when I seen the team, when I seen Ant-Man, he's not played a game, and to be fair to the boy, he's not started a game since the 30th of November. That was the last time.
He didn't game last week with Scott Bolton.
Aye, Sibs. Not quite as bad. Not quite as bad, but sorry.
Ant-Man was just... But You understand what I mean there, Ox?
Aye.
Seeing you start that man, he's a poor game, that 45 minutes, it's poor a game, Matt. You must take him off at half time.
I don't deny, and by the way, I agree with
And-
you. Listen, I've enjoyed Tav over the piece. What he's done for us, the moments he's gave us. His legs have gone, mate, and
Let's have gone, mate. It's been gone for a long time now.
aye, maybe 18 months, mate, and obviously it's worse. It's sad to see. And look,
Of
I
course
don't
it
want
is.
to be critical of him, but he should have started.
I'm the same, mate.
He should have started, and he's done. He's done. No offence to James, he's done at the level.
He has
that we're
done.
trying to get to.
Well, when you're able to bring Sterling on at that particular time, how should him to start? Sterling should have started again. There's no question of that. Even
Robert?
Tavernier's done.
Aye, we don't disagree, mate. I think we thought it before the show. It was a strange one, and it's been confirmed. Robert?
Aye, afternoon, David. Listen, I agree. I was surprised to see Tavernier starting because I'd have Sterling in there, mainly just because of one, his physical presence, but two, the pace he's got as well, the recovery pace and behind. I think with their goal, their second goal, you've seen the area that they targeted in behind Tavernier, and Tenecti turned them inside out to put it across the goal. So it's an area that teams have exploited over the past few weeks, never mind seasons. But it will grow pressure on Danny Rowe. There's no doubt about it, because it is another, as you say, it's a sore one, but it's 3 defeats in a row, mate. It's not happened since Dick Advocate. So that's what's happening. People will look at that and say that's not good enough for Rangers, and they're right. It isn't good enough for your club, but where do we go from here? This is only going to pile pressure on. And once again, we're looking at another summer where you go, how many players, what managers are going to take us forward? We've been in this scenario before, and we've not improved in terms of consistency from it. So there's a lot of factors and a lot of emotion that will hinge on the past few weeks and what's happened. But we've shot ourselves in the foot, mate, with the goals conceded, lost scoring enough, and ultimately it looks like we've just down tools at the end of the season early.
We went to Spain. We went to Spain a month too early, David.
Well, listen, we could have went to Larkin with this, still lost this title. I mean,
Well,
the
people question.
I don't know what.
Everything questioned. Everything will get questioned. You know.
Of course it will. Of course it will. But Ox, but I will say, I know. Can I just quickly come in here?
Uh-huh.
I've been saying for nigh on 3 decades now, the Rangers going to Parkhead. See, when Rangers started that game today, Rangers were popping the ball about and they had a high line. Chermiti was right up against their centre half, and our centre halves were nearly at the halfway line. That rattled them big time. But I don't know how many times we're going to say it. See, when you go to Parkhead and you sit deeper and you sit deeper and you sit deeper and you invite shots, pop shots at your goal, you're going to get hammered. It happens. Rangers have to be aggressive against Celtic. Celtic weren't great today, let's be honest. But
played for about 15 minutes, mate. 15 minutes.
I agree with that. But it's the high line. You must be aggressive. And that's why I think Sterling should have started. You know, you have to get guys that are aggressive in the front bit. And don't get me started on that man. See that man, come on. What do you call him?
Gas man.
Aye. Who, sorry?
Gas man.
No, what do you call him? Oh, please.
Asgard.
Asgard, aye. See, he was on his heels and all when the ball was getting past him. And see that boy, he's got all the talent in the world. See, the lovely fit, but it doesn't work here. This has to stop this. And I don't know where we go for here. Does the manager, I believe the manager deserves next season a day. And there's only one man I would, if somebody offered me tomorrow to get me out the door and get Steven Gerrard, then it would be all day for me.
You'll not be alone in some of these sentiments, but obviously a lot of plans will be made for next season already. And you lose 3 games, you lose 11 goals in 4 games. The criticism's going to grow on the team, the players, and ultimately the trouble is, Robert, the manager, he carries the can for it. And people will question the starting 11. We question Scott Volkswagen up here, and we'll question Antman. We'll say, all right, we put an argument up for Sterling being on the bench because he covered a lot of bases. That was all. Yeah, that was the only reason we could think of, Robert, you know.
Aye, well, you look at the lineup today, right? You would say most people would probably have Sterling starting. That right wing was always going to be a conundrum. Who do you put out there? Is it a underperforming gas man? Is it a Scove Olsen loan that's not worked out? Or is it Antman who's not played a lot of football? You're left with very little options. That other than that, you change the shape. But I don't think this is. I know I said I would have went 4-3-1-2 on Friday night, but in hindsight, it's a game that you don't really want to be doing too much chop and change. But he's left with one position at right wing that who fills that gap? I seen it at half time. Antman off, empty jersey. The only thing they're doing there is replacing the name from last week when it was Scove Olsen. Who is going to fix that? You can only work with what you've got. If it was Antman and Dana came on and played some good football and nice stuff, you'd say, why is he not playing more often? So it's an issue that's going to be there these next two games until somebody resolves it.
I don't think he will resolve it this season, mate. Let's be fair on Antman. Yeah, I don't think he should have started. He was appalling. He was non-existent. It's not his fault we lost the game of football, right?
No.
But let's be fair. David, he no started a league game. He played against Queen's Park in the Cup. Apart from that, he's no started a game. He's hardly been on the part as sub since the 30th of November. How is he match fit? How have we been fair on him?
Ox, I totally agree with you. It's the same with that Scott Wilson last week. But see the point line this. See when we get at half time, the manager must notice that he's well at it. He must replace him. Now, I know Gassama for me is an impact player. I wouldn't start Gassama. I still think he's a really talented young boy. If you start in games, he goes missing. But, you know, he gives you something when he comes off the bench. Antman, you know, it's just...
But we're losing you, David. We're losing you, mate. Robert, Gassama come on, had a chance to take on players. Never done it. Yeah. All right. Quite quickly, we were three. I don't know what the score was when he came on. It might have been 3, yeah. The substitutes were also too late. They were too late, mate.
No, their two goals came in quick succession, so even at 2-1, there was only a minimal time to change it. But that would it have been quite rash to change it there? Was there an option to change it at half time? I get what David's saying. Antman, take him off at half time, put somebody else on, like Gassama, a bit of energy, because we've done okay in the first half overall. But again, it's down to personnel and options you've got available to you. We've seen certain players be more involved than others under Daniel, so he certainly thinks that there's players there that he can rely on to maybe go and put in performances. That's another factor you've got to consider as well. Maybe he thinks they're just not up to the task.
Aye. Mate. Listen, it's a Sorian because it all happened in the minutes were only quite the same as last week, but similar, Robert, yeah? Similar.
There's a lot of things that you can look back at and compare between the games, and obviously the noticeable one will be another drop-off after half-time, another 45-minute performance as such. There was spells in the second half where, again, we were moving the ball well, we just didn't make the right pass at the right time that you've touched on to create a chance. There wasn't really anything in the second half that we had. Miovski hit the bar. I think that was the closest we came. Everything else was all in front of Celtic. There's no penetration, there's lack of movement. When you do that, you're not going to get chances.
Aye. Young Mikey Moore done a couple of decent things in the second half. I don't think he was particularly good, but he'll get extra marks because he got the goal. And I think he's sometimes isolated. Romans works hard. He shows a bit of passion. He didn't have his best games for us, but at least he kept going. Didn't quite agree with some of the commentary that he was getting worried. I think most of the problems were coming down the other side of the pitch, if I'm honest. Don't know what you think, David.
Well, I thought Romans for the first game he's fought in party, I thought he was going to do. Actually, other people say it's an old thing, but I quite like, that kind of clashing. He was passionate and he was just, he's about that. Well,
we're going to have to let you go, David. Your sound.
Sorry, lads.
Your sound's really poor, mate. Really poor.
Sorry, lads.
I certainly think that Celtic looked certainly more dangerous than our right-hand side. I think there was more to get more joy when Yang went over to the right up against Romans, but I still think he handled the things decently well enough. I don't think he was under any sort of pressure the way the commentary was going, as
By
you
the way,
said.
as much as his Romans, I don't think he's brilliant by the pass for the goal, mate. You know, when he's came forward and Disney Black, the guy who plays the pass for the equaliser. Yeah, I mean, I'm nitpicking a bit, but he didn't. Nobody has a perfect game, yeah. And I don't know, I'm not saying that he didn't either, by the way.
Oh, well, he's going out to block the ball at sore socks. He's going to the ball. He's trying to stop it coming down the line or into the box. So he's probably doing his job, but it's the others behind him. Chukwueze, he lets the player run behind him. Fernandez isn't over. There's a catalogue of errors. You could look at it in nitpick and isolation, but I don't think Romans has done wrong there. I think he's done the right thing by going to close it out. We've seen at the weekend on Monday night against Hearts, Sterling never got out quick enough. So Romans, for me, there was doing the right thing by going out, trying to put a bit of pressure on the ball. It's up to players behind them to cover the area, track their runners, the basics that we've not done well enough all season.
Well, arguably we've done them all well enough all season, but the last fortnight has been disgraceful, mate. Disgraceful. You can say what we like. We've lost 8 goals in 3 games, mate. 8 goals in 3 games. Shocking.
You can't dress it up anyway, mate, other than saying it is shocking and it's not the standards that we set as a club or expect support. I mean, as I said, there's been times where the defence has been quite solid. When we looked at it when Russell Martin was there, we thought this defence looked very, very shaky. And the first thing Managerial done was shoot up the defence. It was compact, it was tight, there was clean sheets, and that was the first tick in the box. He stopped goals being leaked. Now we seem to be back into that trend, which is a worry, because arguably again, today was 3 of the back 4 that most people would probably select as their starting lineup.
Aye, but in the centre of the defence, mate, the boys have got a lot about them. You see it at times. Big Jigger, there was one in the first half, he brings it down with his chest and he tries to play. He's got a great turn of pace. Big Fernandez, he's an entertainer. But are they Dairy Sniff danger, mate? Dairy Sniff danger. That's their main job, mate. And for me, we put ourselves in a lot of pressure with this mental passing the ball about. I know it's a trend and everybody does it, mate. But we've got a goalkeeper who's not particularly good at distribution. He takes a long time. You'll always get your heart in your mouth, mate. Yeah. And we move it slow and we don't get it there and then we're in trouble. And then the errors come for there. When it works and you spring the press, as they say, you're up attacking, mate. Well, you can attack with a long ball up the park with no danger. I just think some of it's kamikaze, mate. But the 2 centre halves, they've got assets in their game, but Dairy Sniff danger, Robert.
I think in moments they do. I think there was one where Maeda was through on goal and Giga done well to get back and put a tackle in. He used his recovery pace. We sniffed that out well enough, but consistently, can he sniff out all the danger? No. Which centre back really does sniff out everything? But Fernandez is raw. We knew that when we signed him. Even the plaudits he's got, and deservedly so, some of the plaudits he's got over the season, he is still a raw centre half. He is very comfortable, sometimes too comfortable on the ball for our kind of liking, especially at the back. But when you're touching on the passing at the back, you knew Maeda was going to be shutting down Butland at every opportunity. Chermiti was winning every ball against Trusty. I didn't understand why we were still playing short, going across their goal, hospital balls at times, just waiting for them to come in and take it away from us and have a chance. Hit the ball long, hit Chermiti. He's won everything and get people around him. So that was a tactic as well, but it never came to fruition at all. The only times we started to go long was when we were kind of pushing near the end to fling everything at it, but it was too late by then.
Aye. Where do we go for here, mate? Obviously, Ibrox on Wednesday night, which will be as flat as a pancake, mate.
Well, it will be, mate. It will be. Where we go from here is we finish this season and we look back and reflect and we make the changes of whether that's player or manager. People have different opinions. As you said earlier, players will go off in the sunset. Players will go back to their parent club. We've got plans for the summer. We'll see how quickly they start to happen. And whether the manager's there or not, again, people can come on and give us their opinion. I think he needs a season off. I think it's hard to judge a guy in full over a 6-7 month period. I think he deserves at least a season. I know people will say they've seen enough, and that's their opinion. They can come on and tell us that, but I think we just end this season, mate. We look back, reflect where it's gone wrong, and we improve next season.
We've been joined by Andra. Afternoon, Andra.
Afternoon, troops.
How you doing, Andy?
How you doing, Robert? Oaks. What can I say? Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm going to get my tuppence worth in here. I'm not going long because you might have a few callers. The rag team started. Tav should never have started. And he certainly shouldn't have been in the second half. The number of boys he gave away in the first half, 5-year passes, and it was split. As you say, his legs are gone. So when I seen the team, I'm going, no. I thought maybe still is on the bench. And he's fit. Well, he's fit as he's been for a while. So that was a non-starter for me, Tav, especially second half. The number of managers it changed. I thought the game was even the first half. Kind of went, no team dominated, no team was bad.
No.
I thought it was even. But no, Neil changes. He changes one player. It makes a difference because their shape's completely different in the second half. And they've got Maida out against Tav, or out that way. And they changed that other one. Yang, he changed. He was directly against Tav with space. So that was a change. Because McGowan was their last player after it. Anyway, so team selection rang for a start. The other thing is, we're not going to get nothing. That goal should never have stood the first one. If Bears goals chopped off for Dundee with one player in front, there's at least 2, maybe 3 players in front. It was marginally, it could have been offside, but that was proved it wasn't. And the other thing, Alistair Johnson should have red card. If that had been one of our full-backs, Ox, Robert, we're due to 10 men.
I agree.
It was knee high. And they'll get after that. And the only thing that went to our fight was when we got our goal, I was waiting for it to get chopped off because there was a push about 4 metres before it. Somebody get pushed off the ball, but it was at least a 50-50. I was waiting to get backtrack, but it wasn't. Having said all that, we didn't deserve to win the day. We just huffed and puffed.
I suppose
any time I've beat them.
I suppose devil's advocate, mate, if he does get sent off, it becomes a different game.
Oh, aye, 100% different game. But we didn't press them enough. That's the thing. I don't think their goalie had many saves. And near the Butland, I think Butland picked it out 3 times. I don't think he did the actual save. I think it maybe a couple of crossbars. But we're no stopping left and right side. We're no stopping the crosses again. That Romans, he could have cut it out, but he stood off him and he let the ball get into the danger area. And Tav, I hope Tav's last game. This is really better to do. It's irrelevant because we're going to finish third and we can't finish in our position. So how does that work? Are we in the? Well, obviously we're in the Europa. Are we in the qualifying Europa? We've got to qualify for the Europa.
Mate, I've not even looked up for ahead, mate.
No, I know. But anyway, I'm really glad to after.
No, but Tavs reminds me, mate. The photographs I seen you try to dance in a stag do.
Oh, aye, with one leg, aye.
When you're done, mate. Yeah.
When I'm done, aye. I see the dancing noise, used to William Stone, and that was an old joke, aye. The cod liver oil with the orange juice, that was a hairy Mary, man, aye, oh, hairy Mary, yeah. I couldn't sing that on here, I've got 5 red cards. But anyway, that's what it is. It was my birthday yesterday, I was 65 yesterday, so it gives a wee result for the border. Because the last, when I was 50, we won the league at Rugby Park. Well, I don't give it as much, but I think with the birthday party in the 5th and the Saturday night, and we beat Kelly in the Sunday to win to clinch the league, big Laverty. The
problem we've got, mate, as much as I agree with some of the sentiment that Robert's saying about the manager, yeah, now because of these 3 defeats, his stats and all these things don't look so good. And the pressure will just grow, the criticism will snowball because Skull Volks and Ant-Man Tav playing the day. All these things, mate, yeah?
Yep. The only thing I would say, they would keep sacking the manager, or they would just bite the bullet, and it's going to be up for debate because one's went away, fans are wanting away, fans are wanting to stay. We have got to bite the bullet right now. Just sack him Namora or sack him end of the season. if we've got somebody, if we're name our homework, we've got somebody to take his place. If we've got somebody to take his place and they've got their signing targets, that's fine. But see if we haven't, see if we're relying on Daniel Robin there next year. He's obviously been doing homework, getting players digby for next year, getting ready to sign for next year. So we either got to sack him or back him. If we've got to back him 100% next year, give him the money, give him the players, we've got to give him a full season, regardless of how it goes. There's no point sacking him in November with our 10 pints in, or 4 pints in, or 6 pints in. There's no point sacking him then because we've got to start from scratch. We've got to have a manager in to do a pre-season and all that and target, and then you're signing loan players. And that's the other thing. We've got to really, again, our finances aren't going to be great now, especially not now because we're going to be third. But we've got to try and stop as many loan players as we can. But I would bring young Finlay back and a young boy back to Aberdeen. And give them a start. They're better than a loan player. You can't get there's young Finlay Curtis playing at his skin. And I agree with him going on loan. I agree with him going on loan.
All right. Yeah, I do as well, mate. I think we'll be joined by Derek. Afternoon, Derek.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Terrible,
Can you
Derek.
answer that?
Pass.
The last time I spoke to you, I said that I'd have sacked Danny Rose after the cup game, and you shouted me down. Do you stand by that you would keep the manager still?
The pressure will grow the manager because we've not won 3 games of football. It's as simple as that. That's the football business, mate.
He can't win a key game. That's is it 4 attempts to beat Martin O'Neill, and you've not won any of them. You have not beat the Hearts, and I just don't think he's a man to take Rangers forward. And I said this after the cup game when they lost in penalties. I would have got rid of him then. I don't think he's the man to take the club forward. I don't think Rangers will win trophies under Danny Rose. Maybe in a couple of years, 3 or 4 years, he'll prove to be an outstanding manager somewhere else. But you don't get that time at Rangers. And I think he's learning his trade, and you can't learn your trade at Rangers.
You don't get that time now at Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't get that time. Robert?
Hi, Derek. Good to hear from you, mate. Personally,
Okay.
I'd keep him. I'd keep Daniel for next season. If I'm being honest, mate, that's my personal opinion. I would keep him. I know what you're saying is he said these attempts and he's not won any of them. Well, he won at Parkhead 3-1 after being 1-0 down at half time, and a game we never saw coming. I know the last few results have not went in our favour at all, and that's not acceptable. I completely understand and agree with that. But the same argument can be said for these players then. If you're saying they can sack the manager, he's not got results. Well, these players haven't got results either. Let me finish, Derek. 2 seconds, pal.
Right.
Let me finish, mate. Right, you can say the same argument for these players. These players haven't delivered either this season. So I get the manager at Rangers is always going to come under the scrutiny. That's the pressure that comes with the job. When you're winning, you're doing well, we'll chant your name. When you're not going well, then the calls will come out for your name to go and we'll be replaced. But how many times are we going to have to keep replacing a manager till we get it right? People keep saying we can do it till we find the right one. See if we could find the right one, we would have had him by now.
Who would you bring in, Derek? Who would you bring in?
I still Derek McInnes, or if Millwall don't get promoted, Alec Neil, somebody that can still fight into the team. The last 3 games.
Alec Neil is the Rangers manager.
Alec Neil, that's the Millwall manager. Yes.
Alec Neil,
the
Rangers manager.
Somebody that would install fight into the team. Somebody that can organise a team. That's is it 1 clean sheet in 27 games. That's no championship material. Manage that. 14, 15 goals I've lost in 6 games. The
stats are there, and they'll grow. Andy?
Even there, afternoon, Derek. I'm with Robert. I would back the manager for the next season. I'll give a full season, and then that's it. But I don't think that Neil will come from. Well, I think he kicks the ring fit for a start, so I don't think he would entertain Rangers.
No, he definitely doesn't kick the ring fit, mate. Definitely not.
No, well, I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was winning. The man came on. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I don't know who we get. The only thing is if Gerrard would come, I would take him, but I don't think he will come. He was interested. He's waiting for a big team in England. Burnley's the latest. But you're going to back him or sack him. But I agree with Robert. The players, these players, they basically need to go. The three signs we had. Sorry, Oxley.
No, well, let's be honest. We've all witnessed it. We're not trying to kid anybody on. We're no clapping hands for the stats are there. The stats in the last. Forget about up to the split. You could argue the stats were all right because we've got ourselves back within 1 point. So there's no reason to look at the manager. We might have lost goals, but we're scoring goals. Since the split, the momentum's turned, Andy, and the form's crap. We've lost 3 games.
Oh no, we're conceding goals.
Aye.
I remember being on, and it was quite funny when I was on holiday, right? And I said about clean sheets, and you told me how many clean sheets you had, and with the wee joke about more clean sheets than you had in the Villa, right? And we did it. That was my stats. We did about 7 or 8. Well, down a row, we did about 7 or 8 clean sheets nearly in a row, out of 10 games or something like that. But it went earth for elbow, forgive the language. You know what I mean? It went the other way for conceding. That's all right if you're conceding. If you're scoring more in the opposition, that's fine. But you know, no time we beat Falkirk. But I don't know what the answer is. But I don't want to need your reaction. But as I say, we are going to sack him every season if they've got somebody else in mind. But there's no point in sacking him and starting a search for the new manager, or he's doing to see him. He's doing to kind of short list. If they've got somebody in mind, that's fine. If they've nobody in mind, I don't know. And who's going to come anyway? Because again, it's a hard act. I mean, being the Rangers manager. Short list.
Turn the show off, Carl. That's it, mate.
It's off.
All right, mate. On you go. Floor's yours, mate.
Right, okay. See this carry on, sack the manager. You've got to sack the players as well. How are we going to do this shit? How are we going to do this? You know, I keep hearing sack the manager. Now, he came into a team that said players that he didn't buy. I've heard that all before. And this Steven Gerrard rubbish, every bloody time it comes on the telly, it makes the hair stand up on my back. The guy ran away for years. Don't forget it.
Robert?
Listen, Carl, there'll be a lot of people there that say that Gerrard can come back and install the fight and the mentality and the kind of desire and the hunger that he showed, and that's something he did have. But 1 trophy out of 9, mate, is his record. That's not good enough either. So I understand people's sentiment towards Gerrard and getting a bit of fight back, and he'll get players running, will look fitter. That I can't disagree with, but it wouldn't be my choice.
How are you going to do that, Robert? How's Steven Gerrard going to do it? You explain it to me.
It wouldn't be my choice, Carl. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't take Gerrard at this moment in time. He was interviewed for this job before Danny Rule, and his words were, "I'm not a magician." So even he thought that he couldn't get this squad to where we thought we could get to this season. So
exactly, Robert. I mean, I'm sick of hearing Steven Gerrard's name coming up because he ran away. Let's face it, he ran away.
All right. Cheers, mate.
It doesn't matter what you think. He did run away.
Aye, he left us, mate. That's a fact, mate. He left us. Listen, we'll bring in Derek. Oh, I think Derek might have gone. All right. Look, there's going to be a lot of people who have got similar views to Derek, and the problem is, just in isolation, the last 3 games, it's hard to argue with that on the last 3 games, Andy. You know what I mean? Because we've been atrocious.
We have been. See, if you've got my stats, Bale's the best. He's the best win rate. That's how you could change stats. You know what I mean? He's the best win rate. So I don't know, Oaks, but listen, I'm going to go and get slit. No, not slightly pissed. I'm going to get blood up because I'm fed up. Anyway, I'd just like to thank you all for entertaining me. I'm not always on the phone, but I'm always listening to you. You do a marvellous job, especially with days like today. You and Robert, when I couldn't face. Oh, I'm just to go put the phone lines open, listen to all the dafties on the phone. So I admire you. So everybody in the
Don't
panel.
put yourself down, mate.
That's one thing. You never give any compliments. You're always doing the work, can you? No, you're always listen. I like that. I like the patter because if you get out, you're going to take it. As I say,
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
if you get out, you're going to take it. So to Robert, everybody, Robert, yourself, old Bear, everybody that's on the panel, old school blue. Always a nice conversation with him. He's a gentleman. I rode around his dinner one night for an hour early. Been drunk again, not like me. But anyway, all the best. So hopefully next year we'll do something. Because I'm fed up. We're getting too old, you know what I mean? Right, all the best, boys. I love you, Zotty bits. Okay, take care.
Cheers, Andy.
mate.
Take care.
Right,
Cheers.
cheers. Bye.
Listen, just go back to the game. Listen, the individual errors. Look, the criticism will come with the managers with some of the selections, Cal. I can see that. But still, some of the individual errors, when we don't clear the ball, we put ourselves under pressure, we don't defend, we can't pass the ball in good forward areas. You know, and I'm not talking about hard passes, I'm talking about simple passes to keep a move going. But we need players, we need, and we also need some experience in the team. Yeah, and I'm not saying we get guys that are done, but just getting the right players in at the right position, just for experience. They two centre halves have got big assets. The stats tell you the last 3 games, they're inexperienced, mate. No individually caused a lot of things, but you don't lose the goals. Some of the goals we lose if you've got experience in there. Cal?
I agree with that. We need a bit of experience, but where do you get by experience, Hawks? Where do you get experience?
That's true, mate. That's true. Right, mate, we'll let you go. We're going to start winding up shortly, mate, yeah?
Right, I'm away anyway, Hawks. I'll talk to you during the week. Have a lovely couple of days. Try to get yourself off the airwaves, but it's going to be murder. All right. Bye. We are the people.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Kyle.
Cheers, mate. He's listen, it's going to polarise the support, mate. It's going to be interesting, you know, to see how this pans out. As Albert said the other night, you know him. He's one again. Managers longer all the time. He thinks we made a mistake with Philip Clement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Maybe I didn't at the time with the Queen's Park game. I just think it was a bridge too far, you know. But then you've got what we've done since. You know, there you go again. There's only one opinion that matters. That's Andy Cameron on the board. What they'll be thinking now. The other trouble that you've got, and maybe that's the criticism, Danny Rule hasn't a lot of experience, mate, as a first team manager or coach, whatever you want to see him. He's done the firefight, the Sheffield Wednesday, but he hasn't got that many games. He's been about in the football game, but he's no as a number one, mate, and it's a different job when you're the main man.
It is, but Gerrard was in a very similar position, Ox.
You're talking about an icon of world football, mate. There's two big differences.
Aye, but just because you're an icon and a great footballer doesn't mean you're going to cut out to be a manager. He came in.
Gerrard cut it as a manager?
Not since he left us, no.
No.
So again, but he came to us. We took a gamble, and he took a gamble, and it took 3 years for him to show the efforts to get the title. So he was given that time. Again, I would stick with Roll. I don't see why we can't just give him that full season ahead, the summer window, and then the January window, and then you look at it and see that's a good 18 months it would be under contract for. How much have we improved? Have we got a better squad? All the factors, but Gerrard was in the exact same position, mate, and he got the time. And some people out there adore him because of what he got. He got 55. He stopped there 10. It was brilliant. And a lot of people want to go back to that, but it took 3 years to get it, is my point. So you've got to give a manager time. And I know as much as it's frustrating for us when we're not successful, it's really frustrating. And it's hurtful to not be successful at Rangers, but you can't just go every 12 to 18 months sacking managers because they're not going to be stable then.
I get that also. I also understand that fully, mate. I'm no more trying to pick my words wisely here. What I'm saying is the pressure will grow on them, mate. And that's because of the results, the performances, the goals we've lost. since the split. Up until the split, Danny Rules was sitting a point behind. We won our 5 games. We win the league. So it was hard to say anything negative about Danny. Was it perfect? Of course it wasn't. We had a low base. But since the split, mate, since the Spanish trip, all the criticism, it's hard to deflect, mate. It's going to be hard to deflect for him and the players collectively, mate.
Well, that's the pressure that comes with being a player at Rangers and being a manager. That's what happens. As I said earlier, when you're winning and you're at top of the table, you're getting cups or trophies, you're the best thing since sliced bread. When it starts to go wrong, that's when the real pressure starts. And it's how you handle that pressure. I know a lot of people out there saying that the past few press conferences, Danny Rules looked deflated, he looks broken. You said it Friday night, you'd be surprised if he came out all happy and cheerful, because he'll be hurting as much as us. I'd like to think he's hurting as much as us, but
Mate,
it's how you respond to that as a manager and as a player.
Mate, if he'd have walked out and told a gag, he'd have get criticised for that, wouldn't he? Everybody's up for it. We're all confident. That's gone.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we know you, but generally we put too much into things. Anyway, we've been joined lastly by Bob J. Afternoon, Bob J.
Hi, afternoon, Ox. I don't know where to begin. Probably at the start. That's the best place. The only positive I can take out of that today was I'm glad that we didn't cave in when we went 3-1 down early in the second half. I was getting visions of us caving into 4 or 5 here against that lot. Thankfully, that never happened. What happened, bad enough, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Rangers, big question, where do we go from here? I don't know. I've analysed it all season. I don't know where we go from here. Is the manager stay? Did they rip up the squad? Did they bring people in? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer it all. What do you think yourselves?
Robert?
Afternoon, Bob J. Listen, we knew for a fact that this issue and situation that Daniel walked into wasn't going to be resolved in one window of half a season. So do you just stop here and go again and start from a fresh season? And when I say a fresh, I mean a fresh manager, fresh players, or do you give the guy time to get across his real authority within the team? There's only really 3 players that has in that side. So obviously Scott Wilson, you could say 4, but it's a loan signing, but 3 permanent signings. Is that enough time to really stamp across his style, his play, whatever? He said himself, right now it's not about style, it's about getting wins on the board. And he done that, got us into great positions, and we fell with an almighty bang at the very last hurdle. And that's where the frustration lies. But for me, Bob J, I'd keep him and go again next season.
Aye, because we can't continue with a second manager. Rebuild. This can't carry on. I like Danny Rowe. I like his style.
I did up to 2 weeks ago, Bob J.
What's that, Ox? Eh?
I did up to 2 weeks ago.
Aye, yeah. I just don't understand it, basically. Robert saying what you said there about half a season and I'm so frustrated. I can't get the word out. I really am. 3 weeks ago we were so buoyant.
Aye, yeah. 3 weeks ago, you're right. I imagine they'll get all the plans have been made. Recruitment, the players are getting out the door. They'll know most of them up. Contracts finishing, loan players, etc. Right. So there's a lot of work to be done. There'll be a lot of people lined up, and people will come in the door. Yeah. And then then it becomes his team, Robert. Yes, is that fair?
Yep. Aye,
yeah.
That's the point I'm getting at, mate. Aye,
right.
It's his team, it's his players.
If this form continues, you'll no see Christmas. In fact, they might even see less than Russell Martin if this form continues at the start of next season, because the pressure would just be unsurmountable because of the back end of the year, mate. If he gets his form and we play and we win, and we're right in the mix and we're winning games of football and we're playing better stuff and we're keeping the ball at the net, yeah, the pressure will ease. Yeah, so that's the two thing, mate. Scenario.
That could happen with a new manager as well, Ox. a new manager can come in
Of
and
course,
be
it could happen with Russell
a
Martin.
Russell
didn't it?
Martin. So
Aye.
exactly.
Aye.
So that's the
Aye.
gamble you've got to take. Risk and reward. You always say.
Aye. Aye. Okay, Bob, do you have last word, mate? We're going to go. Last word for your good self.
Just thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll hear you through the week.
Cheers,
Well,
Bob.
my big
Cheers.
statement is Rangers, where do we go from here? That's anybody's guess. Good afternoon, lads.
The transfer market. The transfer market.
Uh-huh.
As simple as that, because these players, some of them are going to leave us, some of them, their contracts are up, some of them might move on, you know, so we'll be busy in the transfer market, Robert. Last word, Robert.
Just for me on, mate. Always a tough gig to come on after a result like that, especially against your rivals. But the silver lining is there's only 2 more games to go and the season's done, so it's a positive to look at. But where we go from here, only time will tell, mate. Cheers for having me as always.
Cheers, mate. Thanks to Derek, Carl, Andy, Bob Gia for joining us. Your good self, Robert. Fox and All School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10. And I'm sure what will be on the agenda. Take it away, the All School Blue.